Goddard. I'm the Environmental and Sustainability Coordinator for the university. My role is basically to green up campus in terms of education, engagement, research, guest lecturing, and also a lot of environmental education as well, involving students, staff, and also the wider community. On campus, we're pretty lucky. We've got a big site, 65 hectares, and there's around 6,000 trees. We've got a fernery, 3 lakes, and we've also got something called the Faculty of Worms, which is a very large industrial worm farm, and that's got around 8,000 worms, and they're munching away on all the food in there, and they're consuming around 3 or 4 tons of food waste a year, and that includes serviettes and cardboard as well. Obviously, we've got a lot of people on campus, around 15,000 staff and students. We're producing a lot of waste. Around 70% of our waste is actually organic, compostable or recyclable. So that means we can remove it from the waste stream and we can deal with it on site. So we need to look at investing in some systems. We might trial some waste systems in addition to the Faculty of Worms later this year. We're also writing a waste minimisation and management plan. We're developing a sustainability plan and an energy plan, and we also have an environmental policy at the university. So we are committed to sustainability. It's something that we're really big on, and we're moving towards, I guess, being a leader in that area. That's where we want to go. And if students have any questions or issues or ideas, I'm happy for them to contact me. We also have an environmental sustainability committee made up of academics, general staff and a student representative, and we meet every 2 months and discuss any issues, projects and programs that we want to implement, and talk about policies and plans, engagement, and that kind of thing. We also have a number of staff on campus that are conducting really interesting research in terms of environment and science and sustainability. One is on solar panels, Mike Duke with the solar panels is a neat project. Another academic is doing work on composite building materials. Of course, we've got our lake quality. Several scientists are working on lake quality. And speaking of which, right now we have Oranga Lake on campus, which has been an issue for several decades. The lakes were put in the late 1960s, and at the time they couldn't excavate deeply to put them in because of the water table. So the water table is about 1 metre to 1.5 metres below the lake, so they couldn't dig them out. So right now we've got an issue with a little bit with eutrophication, which is nitrogen and phosphorus in the water, nutrients, and a little bit of fecal matter from fish, and also the main issue has been sediment. We've had a massive amount of silt building up in the lakes over 40-45 years. Just recently we've suction dredged Oranga Lake, and we've taken 1,500 cubic meters of sediment and put it into a bund, which is a filtered containment area, and the water's filtered and come back into the lake. Biological sciences have designed a fish barrier to stop pest fish migrating through the system, because the lakes are actually connected. So Oranga Lake connects to Knighton Lake, and that goes out to the stormwater system. So we've had a lot of issues with thousands of pest fish coming through the lakes in and out. Carp and koi carp and catfish, which are problematic because they compete with native fish and they churn up the bottom sediment, so they get all that sediment and churn it up and make the water very cloudy and murky. So the fish barrier is going to prevent them from coming in and doing that, but it will allow the eels to migrate in and out, which is really important because we have to protect the eels, their native species. And recently we removed hundreds and hundreds of fish from Oranga, and there were around 100 eels that they've rescued and transferred into the other lake. The next stage of the project is to put a flocculant in the water, which will make it clearer, and then we'll start to fill the lake back up. The stage after that will be a community planting, where we'll be putting native plants around the lake to act as a riparian margin to stop runoff. And also we're planning to do native plantings in the glade area behind the lake, and that will consist of interpretive educational panels, so it'll have a education outdoor classroom sort of component to it.